Hi, hello, welcome, hee haw, and hello, friend. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to do a recap of the 90-day challenge. And if you're going by the calendar, yes, you're right. There are still 2 more days, Saturday and Sunday, in 2023. Sunday night, which, by the way, have you seen the meme that says the last year of 2023 looks like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 12 for December, 31st for the day, and then the year 23. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Anywho, let's recap. I've got a couple of notes here I wanted to talk to you about. First of all, if you did the challenge with me, high five. I'm so proud of you. Woo! What commitment and tenacity and perseverance. I think that was one of the biggest, if I had to list a takeaway, biggest positive takeaway was persevering for 90 days. And there were many times in the challenge, I just was done. I'm going to quit. Who would know if I did? Thinking of the saying, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? How does that saying go? Let me know in the comments. Here's the point. I committed to 90 days, specifically on my book, 365 Days of Positivity. The book was really important to me because it was a tool developed through hardship that helped. And I have the deepest desire to help others. When you think of the 5 love languages, words of affirmation is number 1. And I always think it's a toss-up between gifts and service as number 2. I dearly love to help others. I'm very servant-hearted, and I feel like when I made the journal, this helped me. It might help somebody else. That was the entire reason for why that was born. Takeaway number 1, the perseverance to go 90 days and not quit. Yes, I did have to take some pauses and some breaks. Yes, I paused from looking at the stats because I got manic when I would check it daily. And why I check it daily is because I want to keep it right here in front of me. Like a horse, when they run the race, they have their blinders on because it keeps them focused on what's ahead of them. I felt like when I checked the stats every day that I was seeing the sales come through every day, and I would be focused on, okay, well, let's multiply that. Let's increase that. I got so down at seeing the goose egg that I just had to pause. I did see the deposits go through my account today, actually. You can see that right here. And that is, that's, you're looking at it and you're like, it's $26.81. Oh my gosh. I spent a little over $1,200 in the promotions and advertisements, you name it. So to come back at $26.81, I feel like I paid for education. Please, if you too did the same like me, I heard Alex Hormozi. I read both of his books, and I keep them at the ready as I keep retooling my offers to get better leads. And I heard him tell the story about he was at a mastermind with Layla, and at the mastermind, a gentleman got up and talked about how he was doing barely $3 million a month, and that they had just 10x their budget, their ad spend, and that's what was being the increase for them. And Alex related and began to double down and triple their ad spend. So I want to put a pause on that for you. I had a budget set aside and divided it into what could be spent. And the plan was any sales that come in would then be reinvested into that budget. I did not use credit card, line of credit, loan, or anything to do the book promotion, the advertising. And I put a chunk, like big chunk of salt with this. I know that Alex has talked about how he would run ads for gym launch. He would run ads on his credit card, and then he knew, oh, I have 28 days in a billing cycle to be able to get this money back to pay off the card before the interest happens. I applaud him and Layla for being so confident in their sales ability to be able to get on the phone and get that sale, to be able to pay that credit card off. I personally, this was another like bing major takeaway. I personally did not feel that confident in my sales ability. Bing, another major takeaway. Oh, to practice selling. It's so uncomfortable. Practice asking for the sale, practice asking for the help, practice asking for the referral, asking, well, who do you know? Because Dr. Benjamin Hardy's book, Who Not How, was the gobsmacker. I've got to rein it in because I saw the time. I was planning to be with you for about 10 minutes. I did not use credit to pay for ads. I used the budget I had allotted. My $1,200 budget got me $26.81. But it was after I had spoke to, because I was pushing hard. I did it. I did not use a VA. I know I have heard so many people online say, oh, my virtual PA. Oh, I thought I heard sirens. Pardon me. I heard so many online say my Philippine VA, my whatever Honduras VA is only $9 a month or something crazy. Every VA I found was in the $300 to $400 per week. I found $600 for the month. And I had such a little tiny budget to work with. I had to choose. Maybe it would have made a difference. We don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If I spent oh, it's the trash. Hello, welcome to my life. Take out the trash. Should is a very aggressive word, have spent $600 on the virtual assistant to make the calls, do the socials, do the leads, and then the other $600 went to budget. What would have happened? I don't know. Maybe I can try that again. Starting over, because this is Who Not How. And you know what? In the description, I'm going to have all of these links available. I feel like, and I agree with Alex and Layla, I feel like, did you hear Alex tell the story about how when he was making $1 million a year, he still shared a bedroom with a guy and a pit bull in a house full of other people, and he was still driving his Mosey-mobile. His talk about driving the Mosey-mobile is what has kept me from buying another vehicle right now. I want to upgrade. I don't need to, like in the big picture, I don't need to. The vehicle I have works, is efficient, and it takes me where I need to go. And it is not pretty. And I want to upgrade. My thought was when I hit my big, hairy, audacious goal with my book, I would buy a vehicle. And $26.81 would buy me a Matchbox. Anywho, I'm telling a long story, but I want to make sure you take away that it was when I read and I was listening. I'm doing what Alex says. I am reading the book and listening to the podcast on a flight about Who Not How. And it made so much sense because for me personally, all of my cold pitching did not work. And when I add up the hours I spent, I used my AI to help craft and tailor my copywriting. And then I narrowed that down into a script, and I used that to cold pitch large network media, all the majors in my tri-state area as well as nationally. I almost said federally. That's a psyop. Anywho, none of it worked. Not even a peep, a toot, nothing back. Just despair and disappointment. Moving on, Who Not How. I was at a Growth Day event and had reached out to several of those people that I met about who's in your network. That didn't work. Okay, it was just like, moving on, Who Not How. I actually saw on Facebook, I use Hootsuite to schedule it. And I do the scheduling. I don't have a VA who schedules it. I saw a long 11 years ago. I'm telling you a story to encourage you. Please stay with me. 11 years ago, I had a gig where I was dressed up like Flo from Progressive, and I was doing a live marketing event as Flo, character Flo that day, and it was at RV World, Good Sam. That's where I met Jeff Arnold, and he was the insurance agent, I think, who had his insurance business. You know, those are independently operated and owned. Anyhow, long story short, that's where I met Jeff Arnold. And that was 11 years ago. And he came up in my Facebook feed. And, you know, like I post through Hootsuite, and then occasionally we'll check in to see how the posts are doing. By the way, my Facebook pages and groups are getting zero activity. I know, do you hear? Let me know in the comments. I hear the gurus going on and on and on about make your own Facebook groups, and every time you run a challenge, make another Facebook group. I'm like, who's in there? Bots? AIs? Not in mine. Anywho, I saw Kismet, Grace of God, Jeff Arnold's post about his book. I was like, you have a book? I contacted him because he had just done blah, 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 major network news. I think it was the Today Show. And I had been trying the Today Show, Mark and Kelly, which I always think Regis and Kathy Lee. ABC, I did ABC, CBS, NBC, all of those. Good Morning America, that's ABC, and nothing. I saw Jeff's Facebook post that he was on to the Today Show. I messaged him, how did you do it? Because I have this book and I'm trying to do this too. And he had Calendly. Do you use Calendly? I do now. And it just lets you boop, and instead of, I hate this. Do you want to meet? The booping back and forth. Sure. What day? Great. What time? Oh, no. Calendly. Just grab the link, put yourself on it. I get a notification. Boom, we're there. And I block out the time that I am available for meetings. So it's not going to catch me while I'm on a run. Anywho. Talk with Jeff Arnold. Have a great reconnection. He is doing beautiful work. Oh, his book is good. And he told me this secret, and I'm sharing, it's at 12 minutes. I am sharing this to you because I think it'll help you like it helped him, like it helped me. And it was a mindset shift. He said, the network appearance was an ego scratcher, and it sold 0 books. In that moment that he was on screen in a 3-minute interview, network nationwide television broadcast, 100,000 eyes tuning in at that moment, goose egg, 0 sales. It just gave me validation for the months, 3 months, weeks, days, hours that I am cold pitching, following up, crafting this, media kits, doing the no VA, should have spent $600. And he told me that, and it validated that I'm going about it wrong. Yeah, I guess I needed validation. And he says, you know what did for me is every time I go on a small podcast and I get to serve that audience, I give them something that is going to enhance their lives, and it creates book sales. And it builds my email list. And I have been going about it differently ever since. Enter in the mothership. You know what it is? I was out at the 10X The Stages event in Colorado. It snowed while I was there, and it gave me like a bit of white Christmas, and it was such a sweet blessing. Thank you, Jesus. I was at that event, and I'm working through my stage presentation, and I'm doing the work. I feel like, what about Bob? You know, I'm baby stepping, and I love being in the background. I love being behind the camera. My favorite place is by the food table with the notepad, writing. I am committed in 2024 to be in front. I don't want to be. I'm committed to be in front in 2024, and I'm going to go about the podcasting, and I'm going to reach out to like the base level of podcasters in personal development, personal growth. And the takeaway, this happened at 10X Stages not even a week ago. Has it been that? Maybe it's been 2 weeks since I've been back. Yes, it has, because that was December 14th. and I'm doing the work and I'm doing the baby steps, and it's very uncomfortable. And, you know, we're all pitching and practicing on each other. And even though I don't even know these strangers, it's deeply uncomfortable. And it was after like the event had ended, and I was at the Hilton, and that place was a dump. Just so you know, the Inverness Hilton, it's a dump. It didn't have hot water, and all the filters, like the air filters, were dirty. And I was like, what kind of place in the winter doesn't have hot water? That's not the point. And even when you were trying to like use the spigot to get hot tea water, nope, lukewarm. I was sitting at the bar, the Breckenridge Brewery bar, and just went in to get some takeout soup to go back to my room to lick my wounds, because I didn't get what I thought that I would come out of that with a very tailored 3-minute signature talk. You can buy their services for a signature talk, but it's $9,800. And for an extra $2,000 or $10,000, it just wasn't in my budget. Just couldn't do it. I would love to have them. Pat Quinn, the guy selling the $10,000 signature talk service, wrote the KBB speech signature talk for Dean Graziosi. If you ever listened, I think it's still online somewhere, KBB. It's not Kelly Blue Book. It's Kingdom Business Builder. Let's not waste our time with that. I see it's 16 minutes. It's got long. I wanted to give you the full rundown, but this is long. I was sitting in the Denver Hilton Breckenridge Brewery hotel bar trying to get some takeout soup, and some of the attendees, the other 10X stagers, were there, and they asked me to sit down and join them. And it is never in my MO. No, thank you. I'm such a hermit. I just want to get my soup and go. And I thought, do something different. If you want something different, do something different. I sat down, and it was very loud and crazy in there. And these sweet ladies and I, one from Canada, one from California, were just talking about, what was your experience? What did you learn? One was deeply disappointed because she too thought she would walk out with the signature talk. And we didn't get that. What we got were the steps to help develop. It's 4 steps. That's another video. We got the steps to how to create it, but it's wonderful to have somebody who, you know what, I have an eye for cinema, for moving images, for composition, for scene setup. I got an eye for it. And I don't have an eye, like when I look at something technical, like mechanical, it's going to take my knuckles and a wrench to fix this. I look at it and just go blank. I think the value of having Pat Quinn and $10,000 write your signature talk, or his team of signature talk professionals, the value is they have an eye for it. They do it all the time, whereas I don't. I could memorize it, maybe, but I didn't have the skill to write that. I did not come away with that. That night at that dinner, it was December 14, 2023, 7:30 p.m. in the dump known as the Inverness Denver Hilton, when having dinner with these ladies, that we were talking about it, and I was telling them why I wrote the journal, and I came to that. I would say it was a God bonk aha, changing the title from 365 Days of Positivity, which I get it, it's so generic, but that's what it is, so I call it like you see it. It was at that moment that the whole message is open your eyes. You need a reason to open your eyes. There has got to be any tiny reason to just open your eyes. In that moment, December 14th, I had my eyes open to rebranding the book, and that meant and means completely rebranding all of the social media, did the cover. I had hired somebody on Fiverr. Fiverr is so hit and miss. I still have my profile on Fiverr, and I was just sharing on Twitter, hey, this is the last time. I will probably take and close down all of that in 2024 because it's not my focus, and I'm just taking the advice of Dr. Benjamin Hardy, as painful as, because I want to hang on to that money, that little bit of money that it brings in. And the 80-20 rule, I don't want to take that into 2024 because I don't want to keep operating at that low level. And I have hired 2 different people on Fiverr as designers to rebrand and redo the website, and they've been disasters. And I felt like, I see you, I hear you, God. There's a lot of challenge in the rebrand. So I do not have the new Open Your Eyes 365 website completed because I've hired 2 designers on Fiverr, and one couldn't do the work but just took the gig, obviously, to take the money. I get it. And the other did a bait and switch on me where they're like, oh, it costs this amount. And it was a low amount because, remember, the book project is out of budget. They're now using my money. So anywho, I still haven't got that done, but I am working on it. And the goal is to get something up come the end of, what is it, Sunday. I will have, even if I have to do it myself. And it's not, this was the biggest learn for this year, is delegate. Yes, it saves money if I do it myself. I don't like to do it, and it's not my gift. I really need to pay somebody else to do it. No, I don't want to spend $1,000, $5,000 on a website. I just want a simple landing page website that allows you to see the book, see inside the book, why to get the book, because technically it's a journal. It's a book, it's a journal. That's my dog. This is long. I want to make sure I hit all of these big takeaways. I think actually I'm going to see the time and I'm going to sign off because my 90-day challenge, I'm so glad I did it. It was power in perseverance. It taught me about who, not how. It taught me that niching down is better than network. So the niche podcast versus the major network. I'll just scratch my own ego, okay? And then the rebrand. Oh, if this helped you, please let me know in the comments. Even why I ever did the 90 days and put it on YouTube is because I had to hold myself accountable, even if it's just me talking to me on the camera. I wanted to be accountable. And I remember hearing Alex and Layla Hormozi, you're such a gift of encouragement, such a gift. Those youngsters, such a gift. Alex said, I wish that Steve Jobs and Jeff Bezos had documented their process of building Apple and building Amazon. And I say, yes and amen. Me too. Because what did you go through? Were you ever fresh out of a cold shower in the Denver Hilton and trying to get takeaway food and had an uncomfortable conversation with polite people that brought you to this mega aha? I need to change the title. Ugh. Jeff Bezos, I wish you would have. And because now look what Amazon is. Now look at what Apple is. That is why I did this challenge. And if you joined me, thank you so much. Thank you. I hope it helped you. It really helped me. And now, going forward into 2024, when it comes to the book, I just want to wrap up with what's next. When it comes to the book, Open Your Eyes 365 will have the new cover on Amazon, will have its own landing page. I'm toying with the idea of working it into either, I think it's going to be a Twitter thread, a positive encouragement Twitter. You just check in when you want. Snack bites. I just want to give you snack, sip. Just something to keep you going. Not like this video is long and it's just like meaty manna. I just want you to have snack bites. Like when I'm running a marathon, I found old photos of me when I was in triathlons, and I was like, girl, when you're running a triathlon, swimming, biking, I carry a fuel belt, and I point it to my waist because it makes me think, oh, I have a fuel belt, and I just have bites to keep the energy going. And I'm never really consuming a full meal. I'm running the race with a snack bite of encouragement and a snack bite of just fuel. And that was the goal. I hope I covered everything. I know this was kind of windy. I'm so proud of completing the 90 days. I did not get my goal, and that hurt, but I'm not going to let it stop me. And please don't let it stop you either. Please keep going. 2024. This is like saying when you do a marathon and you don't complete in the time that you want, like you want to, keep a 7-minute mile and you come in at 8, you still finished. I'm proud of you. High fives. Okay, let us go on to the next one. Thank you so much for watching and being with me. If you haven't yet, would you please subscribe? It really helps the channel and it makes me feel good too. Okay, on that note, happy New Year to you. Thank you for being here. Mwah! I will see you in the next one.